for the men's free skate. And let's review the standings after the short programs. Plushenko with that sizable lead over the Canadians, running 2 and 3, Buttle and Sandhu, then Joubert, Li, and Yankee of the United States. And we will begin with Chengjiang Li of China, 5th after the short program. His strength certainly the free, as he tries to become the first Chinese singles medalist ever at the Grand Prix final. One of the problems he had in the short was the intended triple loop that became a double loop, and he said after the short program that his skate had loosened, so we'll see if he tightens up for this.
Well, he has 2 different quads planned for this program. He opens with a quad toe, triple toe, and then a quad sow cow. Love the speed he carries into this combination. Quad toe, double toe.
Quad sow cow.
Wow, that looked so easy. It looked as though it was a triple, but no mistake, that was a quad.
The combination, triple axel, double toe.
Jump elements out of the way. Skaters are allowed 8 jump windows in the program. And there are a total of 14 elements in the long program, 4 spins and 2 step sequences.
Triple toe. It was set up and positioned in such a way that it looked like it might have been a spot where he may have tried the quad toe a second time. And there's the triple loop that eluded him in the short program.
His jumps are just so easy and effortless here today.
Circular step sequence with good energy. You see him taking advantage of trying to get the crowd into his program, and it has to be quite a thrill for not only him but all of his Chinese teammates, because this is the second time this season these skaters have had an opportunity to skate here in Beijing. They all skated back the Cup of China about a month ago. So for all of the Chinese, this is a huge thrill and a rare opportunity to have 2 chances to skate in front of your home audience in less than a month.
And you could just sense the comfort out there for him. He looked like he was at home Another day of training.
Well, he was second to Jeff Buttle at the Grand Prix of China, making a strong pitch for another podium appearance here, and the Beijing fans saluting Chengjiang Li.
Well, with that performance, he certainly puts down some technical elements that should score very well for him. This opening combination, quad toe, he did want a triple, maybe felt he didn't have the speed and flow and turned it into a double. Very wise decision. And then this triple sow, there I go. It looked like a triple, but it was a quad. Just amazing.
Five-time Chinese champion. 10th last year at the World Championship, but that is as on as we've seen him in a performance this year.
Well, really, this whole competition, aside from the one mistake he made on the triple loop in the short program, was an excellent competition for him.
135.16. He applauds because that's his best score of the year. And the grand total pushes him over 200, and that's the first time he's had a score over 200 this season. So a strong performance by Chengjiang Li of China, giving the crowd here a big thrill with his performance. More of the men after this. Had a lot of discussions about the new scoring system. Here are some of the sample elements that the judges are assessing, and a lot of talk about risk and reward.
The men, of course, have been talking about the quad, about what it's worth. And you see there you can score 13 points with a quad triple combo. But if you make the mistake, say, of just putting your foot down on the first jump, the quad toe, you're looking at scoring only 7 points if you don't execute the second jump. Someone like Jeffrey Buttle does a clean triple flip, triple toe, less degree of difficulty, he scores 9.5 points. So there really is maybe some tweaking still needed to be done to reward the quad the way the men feel it should be.
The two-time French national champion Brian Joubert has been one of the critics, and he says despite the fact the reward might not be high enough, he's going to stick to his guns and he'll stay with the quad.
Well, he clearly demonstrated last March at the World Championships in Dortmund that he was certainly capable of doing the quad. He's had some difficulties with it this season, yet he remains determined to keep it in his programs.
Music may sound familiar to Canadians as they watch this. This was performed by Elvis Stojko when he won his second world title in 1995. Watteau, very nice. Blackle triple toe. He's off to a great start.
Spread eagle right into a triple flip. Problem in the second jump of that combination. Triple loop jump is good.
mistake. He just slipped off that landing edge.
Under the new scoring system, a fall such as that is an automatic 1 point off your final score. Triple Lutz turns it into a double. That was his 7th jump window. He's got one more opportunity to put in another jump in this program.
One of only 2 men to have beaten Evgeni Plushenko in the last 3 years, but Brian Joubert has really yet to hit that form in the 2004-2005 season.
Well, he certainly won't catch him with this performance here today, and I can't believe the magnitude of mistakes he's made out here today. This program started off really well. The opening quad toe, very, very well done. Then the triple axel, triple toe combination, again, very well done. But the critical thing to remember is that you're allowed 8 opportunities to put jumps down. He only used 7 of them, and then when he made the mistake of turning the triple Lutz into a double, he's got to sit down with the rule book and figure out how to score the most points possible, because he's leaving points behind here.
Free skate total 126.34. So Joubert, who had hoped to move up, is in danger of falling back here. You talk about that elusive commodity, which is confidence. Started so well, but once the first mistake was made, it all unraveled. The grand total 193.64, so he will fall behind Li of China. Brian Joubert of France getting set. Backstage, Emanuel Sandhu when we return to Beijing. The defending Grand Prix final champion, who is 3rd after the short program. The comeback of the year at Skate Canada when he overcame a 12-point deficit, but this is even more daunting, I think. 8.75 points behind Mr. Plushenko.
I don't think that would any way, shape, or form be his primary thought right now. His primary thought is, I've done a really decent short program. Now I need to do a really decent long program and put a decent competition together here at the final for himself.
Quad toe combination. Good in the air, but he can't nail that landing. onto that one. Double toe in the end.
Connecting steps into a triple Lutz. Quad Salchow. See if he's going to try it. And a double. Cautious going into his second triple axel attempt.
If only he could find the level of confidence out here in competition that he has in practice. You would not believe what this guy can do in practice on some days.
Second fall and a triple flip. And you have to remember that with each fall, another point disappears out of his score. Fights for and gets the final triple loop done in the program. But Barb, you mentioned the fact that he can and is brilliant some days in practice, but there are some athletes who never move beyond that point of being an outstanding practice player. And I was encouraged with the beginning of this program. He made the one mistake and then yet seemed to come back and keep it together, which earlier in his career, he let the whole thing escape him. And yet today he found another way to let it escape, and that was in the last minute and a half of the program.
Well, I can't imagine how frustrating it is for Emanuel, because it's frustrating for us to watch. We know how talented he is. We know he has what it takes to be a world champion, but he just can't do it when it counts. And I don't know how many times we can continue to say that. It's just, it must be so hard for the team.
Inconsistent within events and throughout his career. His scores this year have ranged from 169 in France to 204 in Halifax. And this will likely be somewhere in between.
The technical element score, please.
But his reign as Grand Prix Finals champion has ended here, to be sure. Well, his free skate mark 120.30, so contrast that with 144, which was his high mark in Halifax on his way to the Skate Canada title. and 195.9. So Li has gone ahead of Sandhu. And Emanuel Sandhu is currently in second, but still 2 skaters to go. So his spot on the podium now in jeopardy. So that's the news for one Canadian, the other getting set to go. We'll have Jeffrey Buttle when we return. Straight ahead, but first let's check in with James Cowling.
I'm here with Emanuel Sandhu, the Canadian champion. You had a bit of a tough go tonight. What seemed to be the problem?
Oh, I don't know. I practiced really amazing here, and I did an amazing clean long program on one of them, and maybe that's the program I should have done today, but it was a struggle, and I don't necessarily think it was just something that was wrong. It was a hard night. That's all.
Yeah, defending champion, I talked to you after the short program. How much pressure did you really feel because of that?
None really at all, because I wasn't looking at it in terms of, of course I wanted to defend my title, but it wasn't, I guess, the be-all or end-all. As I always say, my focus is on myself and what I can do to make sure I can prepare myself best for the competition. The rest is out of my hands, so.
So Emanuel Sandhu's position in the final standings a precarious one as he gets set to watch his Canadian teammate, the man who has won on this ice already this season at the Grand Prix of China. Jeff Buttle with plenty of fans in the audience. Second place after the short program in his first Grand Prix final.
Well, Jeff can't help but garner more confidence with each performance. Not only is he skating well, but he continues to receive feedback via the marks that what he is doing is what the system wants. He continues to score well, he continues to place well, he continues to win, and yet he does it without a quad.
Stepping into the triple flip, triple toe combination. Jump is a triple axel. This is the one that he missed in the short program. Needs to nail this landing. Oh, he goes down. This second triple axel. Does it.
There might be those who would argue that something as basic as posture shouldn't count for anything out here in an athletic endeavor, but when you watch Jeff skate, his posture and his poise throughout the entire program is always excellent. And it's one of those little things that contributes to his overall second mark. Solid triple lutz, nice flow in, good speed and control out of that jump. A good analogy as to why Jeff does so well is equating someone like a Chengjiang Li or a Joubert who has the quad in their repertoire. It's like trying to put a $5 bill into the piggy bank. Jeff's not trying to stuff the bill in. He's just going along, dropping in quarters, dimes, nickels, 50-cent pieces. And at the end of the day, he's got more money in the bank than the guy that's trying to stuff in the bills.
One example here with this closing spin. He totally maxes out all the points he can get on that spin.
Well, a career on the rise. 22-year-old Jeff Buttle, a winner here earlier this year, and another podium placement appears secure.
Well, again, he had some difficulty on the one triple axel. That fall's going to cost him a mark, but overall, a very solid performance. Here's the opening combination, triple flip, triple toe, not quite as well executed as he did in the short program, but he gets it done. Here was the triple axel. Watch when he goes to land, he's collapsed with the upper body and he sits down on it. But to his credit, he comes back later in the program and sticks a nice one right here.
You know, in the old marking system, when it was all about the quad, you would not have had a Jeff Buttle up at the top of the pack. For Jeff, timing is everything here.
Certainly sets up an interesting showdown at the Nationals later this month in London. Jeff Buttle against three-time champion Emanuel Sandhu. Jeff needs at least 125 points, and he's got it and a lot more to spare to stay ahead of Li of China. So Buttle is the leader, and he has guaranteed himself a top 2 position here at his first Grand Prix final as he savors the mark with his coach Lee Barkell. 2:16.65. That's a personal best for Jeff Buttle by 5 points. Best score of the year and a second place position. The leader is Evgeni Plushenko of Russia. He'll skate when we return. Back at the Capitol Gymnasium in Beijing, one man left to skate. Evgeni Plushenko, the Olympic silver medalist. Jeffrey Buttle, the leader at the moment, with Li second, Sandhu third. But Plushenko brings a commanding lead from the short program into this free skate as he vies for his 4th Grand Prix final title in the past 6 years.
With such a commanding lead, it will be interesting to see if he dials this program back at all or if he stays as aggressive as he normally is. I mean, the opening combination that he has scheduled in this program is quite a feat in that he will attempt to do a quad, triple, maybe triple. A lot of times it's a quad, triple, double. We'll just see what he delivers here.
Skating to the Godfather. This is a new program for Evgeni this year.
Opening sequence, quad toe, triple toe, double loop. second triple axel in combination with a double toe,
Hard to believe he's injured.
or has been.
Not bad for the first alternate.
You have to believe for Evgeni. This year is about self-preservation and getting to the Olympics healthy. I would think one of the hardest things for him will be the motivation without a Yagudin or a Stoico or a big rival to challenge him. What will be his motivation? I guess getting to that top spot on the Olympic podium.
With each element that he does, be it a spin, be it a jump, it's important to realize that he's picking up not only the marks that you see, say, come up on a standard marking board that we display from time to time, but he's picking up +1, +2 points from the judges because they're so well executed. The jumps have such great speed, such great flow in and out.
Nobody else in the world today that takes command of a performance the way that he does. If only he could share a little of that confidence.
He's not going to share it with anybody. Is this the best program of the day? I think not, because we're watching him wrap it up with 3 consecutive spins in a row, which doesn't make for a well laid out or a well choreographed program. But aside from that, it's the best skated program, it's the most confident program, it's the most in-your-face program, and there's no way you can say that this is not the man to beat this year or for the foreseeable future.
Class of the field, to be sure. Evgeni Plushenko of Russia.
I wish there was a Yagudin or a Stoico or somebody out there that could push this guy, because I would love to see what he could do with a really well choreographed masterpiece of a program. Artistically, there's still room to grow for him if he gets the right vehicle.
Soaking it all in, and these fans responding as if one of their own had just turned in that brilliant performance.
The speed, flow, and quality of execution through this opening combination was pretty amazing. Quad toe, triple toe, double loop, and he's still carrying excellent flow on the third landing. His triple axel, a jump that a decade and a half ago was the most difficult in the book, he makes look effortless. Triple Lutz combination, again, great technique. When he skates like this, nobody's going to beat him.
And he has been almost unbeatable. Since Salt Lake City, the Olympic silver medal, he has won 18 of 20 competitions, lost on the technicality to Sandhu, upset by Joubert at the Europeans, but no upset here. 167.40, that's 27.2 points higher than Jeff Buttle. 251.75 the grand total, and for Plushenko, that is the highest ever score registered in the new system. A dominant performance. Plushenko, the gold medal. Canada celebrates silver.
I'm here with Canada's Jeffrey Buttle. Great performance. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I think overall I was really happy with how I did. I think the biggest thing was recovering from the fall at the beginning. And I just made sure that I didn't make any silly mistakes like I have in past competitions this season.
Now, you weren't here last year. You've won the silver medal. How much of a big deal is that for you?
It's awesome. Like I said, from the very start of the season, I was going to sort of take it easy at the beginning and then progressively get better and better. And I think this was definitely the best so far, and I definitely even want to improve on that.
What will you do now to improve on it for Skate Canada or the Canadian Championships and possibly the Worlds?
Just basically training programs, making sure that I'm doing clean programs as often as possible, and to obviously keep training the quad because I will need it by the end of the season.
A terrific Grand Prix final debut for Jeff Buttle in a second-place finish. Li moves from 5th to 3rd ahead of Emanuel Sandhu, but the winner by 35 points, Evgeni Plushenko of Russia.
You know, a lot of titles I have right now, World, Europeans, Finals, Grand Prix, and so I should keep going. I should hard every day. I don't know, every day, hard to prepare for the competition. Hard to prepare in your mind, you know. You should skate clean all the time. You should skate, you should show to the audience, you should show to the judges all the time the best. That's hard.
You won by quite a margin. What do you think you still need to improve upon?
I need, for sure, I need one more quad. One more quad is going to be maybe next year, Olympic year. Or maybe I will try in Cup of Russia, I mean Nationals. I will try maybe quad South. So that I need, this is important for me.
Well, next Saturday, our coverage continues with the women, Joannie Rochette and Cynthia Phaneuf, as well as the pairs competition from Beijing. Also on CBC Sports Saturday next week, alpine skiing, Brian Williams and Karen Lee Gartner. The men's downhill from Chamonix. And later in the year, our coverage continues with 4 continents, the World Juniors from Kitchener, the World Championships from Moscow. Evgeni Plushenko receiving the gold medal, sharing the podium, along with Jeff Buttle of Canada. That's the story for now from the Grand Prix Finals. For Barb Underhill and Paul Martini, Chris Cuthbert wishing you a Happy New Year. And now, let's join Scott Russell with a retrospective on the sporting year 2004. Here's the host of Sports Saturday.